amongst the carries, but also the amount of potential dive threat. Tempered Fates are likely going to be very defensive. I'll be curious to see how many proactive and playmaking opportunities he has to use that Bard with.
All I'm saying is that I'm very excited for this game. You know why?
Yeah.
Because every single champion.
Chasing, and in the meantime, the rest of the team on Lost Ratones, they're taking the first dragon. So DeHaste is going to be a human ward and check out the situation real quick. But realistically, he's not going to be able to do too much. As Value can always just flash away.
Got the shove in mid, the teleports come back, and there are those grubs getting started. I think we might have a contest, though. Ozhan is around. He's got level 6 of his own.
Yeah, no TPs on the top lane, so it's a 4 versus 4 right now. Wukong is incredibly powerful, and the ultis for Lost Ratones aren't that great. So I really do think that this should be Rich Gang favored, and I think Lost Ratones are going to concede.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Look, they've taken the one grub and said that'll have to do. They'll give over the other two. They don't want to fight too aggressively, and you called out saying, look, this level 6 spike's just way more powerful.
They really aren't combat ultis, right? Like, Bard ulti is short.
Also collapsing, sort of, but he's just going for that proxy farm. But Baus, without the TP, he's going to walk into 2 members. He's got a counter-strike now. This one gets a bit weird.
It's a big ultimate.
Oh, and Grand Starfall as well, looking to find an angle. Flash, stun from the shield. Val, second charge of the Cyclone, but I think Dehast is likely dead. Ozhan tries to flash away. He's got nothing left, and they lose 2. There's the conditional value of your Grand Star.
That would be the one in trouble, but he actually makes it to the bush first, so it's Ozhan face-checking alongside DeHaste. Camps for your Ozhan here. It just feels like a really slow bleed out for Rich Gang as they get picked twice at the dragon. Wait, Crowley just snapped forward. Almost a punish there.
Flash, Tempered Fate. Oh, it's supposed to be the Talir without Flash that's more at risk, but Alaric going forward gets stunned into a wall, and the engagement on the Crowley is swiftly punished. Nice Tempered Fate.
Nice reactions from Crowley into a nice punish from Reckless. The Tempered Fate was fantastic, and now it looks like Kevo is... he's gonna fall as well.
Oh no, he went forwards, tries to get the kill. The aggro is there.
Trying to fight here, if you're Rich Gang, it does make sense because, you know, this is probably like the most item parity you're gonna have for a while. Yeah. Second item's gonna come in for LR, definitely. First for them, as you can see, a needlessly large rod on the Azir. So trying to find gold onto Nemesis and accelerate him to a second item really, really quick, which is gonna hit hard because, I mean, that's looking like a death cap right there or a shadow flame.
Oh, Kevo, he's in so much danger. Does have flash. You're going to need to burn it for the rocket. It's a big one. Headshot. Kevo's down.
That's a big kill right there. Killing an Ezreal with a flash after the Tempered Fate hits, not flashing the Tempered Fate. That's if that is soul point, yeah, it is. That's going to be a really, really, really early soul point. We're looking there. Look, we're staring down the barrel at a 21-minute soul, by the way. Which Rich Gang have to make sure to be online for. As we try to cross map top for the Wukong. And
Bounties
a small gold injection. They still haven't picked up a kill, Sam. There's not been a kill.
Adam, stop. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. The moment you call for it, Nemesis, no! He's out. Grand Starfall. Velia's now in a 1v2 and says, yeah, I can win these. Getting shoved back there with the Introver Strikes Part 3. Alaric very low, gets the mount up, but he doesn't get the knock away. Last Comet Spear. We're doing flash. Jump forward with the shield vault. And now look at Matix. Reckless is coming. And I think the Kazante, not even then can they find the kill. Crowley's going to go Valkyrieing forward to say, yeah, welcome to Valhalla. I'm going to deliver you personally. Crowley on a rampage.
An absolutely insane play. I mean, surviving that play from Nemesis and then the Pantheon ult in. I want you guys, if we get a replay of that, to keep an eye on the side steps from the Pantheon. But another fight up top.
Dehast ends up taking so much damage just from the raw autos there. Can maybe try and get over a wall, does wall top out, but there's Kevo waiting. I think that will be finally a first kill. Kevo gets the shutdown. Rich Gang on the board. It'll just come at the low price of a tier 2 bot side.
A low price if we're on opposite day. I think that's going to be a lot of gold for Crowley right there. 363 gold each.
Carry, I suppose at this point, Pantheon kind of is really in his own way. And they're going to get the other turret top side. It's just going to get shredded. They got the tier 1. The tier
we're going to get more flowers now to take a look at. As Ratones, they're kind of cleaning this up. They've got Azir DPS.
Yeah, and then Corki had 2 items. It's gone.
Oh, he has a death cap on us here.
Yeah, he does.
He has a Nash's death cap at 20 minutes. No budget items with the Rylai's here. We're doing damage.
That's just a killer to Dehast. He just got Grand Starfall.
And that's a Talia dead into Sante, Rich Gang, to be able to walk in through Banana. Lost Ratones aren't going to be able to control that exactly. You see a front-to-back trying to form here for Lost Ratones as Azir TP's behind. No crazy flank angles. I do believe... Wait, hang on. Hold up a minute, Baus.
Baus just 1v2'd and blew up the Talia. Now Kevo needs to run away as Nemesis is looking for that Ezreal. Has to flash on out. Does have an Arcane Ship Edge available. The Cosmic Binding lands in Crowley, goes unstoppable. A shove into the wall, dragged all out. That might well be the end of Velia, but no, he's still got a flash. And Crowdy picks up another. They'll keep going for more because Baus is saying, I have got so much burst at this point. Matic needs to try and footwork out, but he ain't Messi. He's on the other team.
Usually Baus has died 4 or 5 times by now. That hasn't happened. So my man's has just farmed main though. I don't think you're going to be able to chase him there with that phase rush, so gonna be a failed attempt. And there's a global down for Tehase as an engage comes through mid.
Ozan's dead.
Oh,
There's no other way around it. Has to flash over the wall, and Crowdy says, yeah, no, you don't. He just has to burn Valkyrie. He's still got flash. He's still got barrier. Not threatened in the slightest, and just punished the cosmic binding onto Kevo. The Ezreal gets blown up as well. Oh no, Crowdy continues to look for more. He's flashing for it. His belief in the Corki looking well founded right now. He thinks his champion is broken. Grand Starve on the backside is immediately seismic shoved, and Valiant may now be a little deep, but I don't think they care. Reckless gets to Has. The Rocket Bell came up forwards. There's a counter strike empowered by 2 items worth of AP, and they'll bring down Alaric as well. It's Matix alone in the base as Lost Ratones begin to run rampant. These structures not long for the world.
Domination in every single lane for Lost Ratones, almost every single neutral object. I mean, look, from start to finish, it felt like they'd been in control as Matic's going to try a last-ditch effort to defend the Nexus, but he's going to be taken down, shredded, brought down to 0 as LI on the base.
They will take down the Nexus turrets, and Lost Ratones say that our early games being weak, well, imagine what happens when they look as good as this. It is domination. It is ruthless. It is relentless, and Lost Ratones will claim game 1 in emphatic fashion.
It's that Naruto scene with the training weights off, I feel like, for Lost Ratones. Dropping them and just all of a sudden playing
thing. Yeah, like, do I like the Zeri here myself? Not necessarily, but it can definitely survive a lot of the initial dive. Oof. But Lulu coming in now also just means, like, lane priority is going to be wholly bot side favor.
First ultimate leads to not even a flash blown, it's just a flag and drag. You need to be getting more value from that, and that is not a good sign for Rich Gang, as another early dragon's going to go with the way of Lost Ratones. They've already started to get significant advantages in those side lanes.
We commit to contesting this. Crowny actually ran bot side, but Velia might have something to say to Ozan. No ulti available for the Nocturne.
Yeah, could get a bit interesting. Again, the Paranoia is down. Reckless is here as well with that wild growth you called out a little while earlier as well. So even if you do go in, just press the R button, become a little bit bigger for a little while, and it becomes a lot hard to kill you. So those grubs will get traded to Lost Ratones, and that's a second early game objective. They've gotten that first kill. They need a couple more of those, but this second objective towards the feature strength marker, it's another strong early game that isn't scrappy, it's disciplined, which I think is the term we wanted to use. Again, for all the farm numbers have always been good, plays have often been a little bit back and forth as Ozan. Oh no.
No flash.
No Paranoia, he's just dead. The Cataclysm there, and it is just a leash. Have been clean, have been disciplined, and Rich Gang have not managed to find any counter punches at all. They've been barely able to find something in the way of kills. At the moment I say it, Velia ends up in a 1v3. He's about to get Paranoia. Kevo's coming on over. I apologize, Velia. That's what we call a caster curse, folks.
We now look to take better trades as well into the volley bearers. Rich Gang, they're going to look towards topside.
Oh, Baus going to chunk out well onto Matix. Ozan coming on over, has got 8 seconds on that Paranoia. Matix will eat a lot of damage before getting that. Another Sky Splitter comes on down. Matix is really afraid! They tried to wait on the Paranoia, and he just steps too far forward. He's going to try and reset out. Got a 3-level advantage here, Ozan. I don't know how easy this will be. We'll ult through the shockwave, and the Stormbringer comes on down, trying to turn it around as he's got a Sky Splitter. The damage back is foul. Sure, you've got a Conqueror, and eventually they bring it down. But man, force of will, ult, and an execute.
Elastic.
That's another kill going on over. Lost Ratones punished as he tries to get into the bot side jungle. It just goes from bad to worst. Sure, you got an ult and a heal off Reckless, but that really is the smallest of silver linings.
Yeah, Alaric gonna flash engage though.
They've got the decent exhaust down and get the flash in the barrier. There's no on the hunt quite yet because he's trying to run for his life. The last no! Flash for the burst fire. TP behind. In comes Syndra. Alaric now potentially in danger. So is Kevo, who can maybe look to try and skate around here as Reckless also low. Flag drag knocked out of his E. No chance to get over the wall, and they will turn this one around. Nemesis donated another kill, and Rich Gang finally engaged, but it doesn't
whilst buying time and making sure that, you know, I'm still in range to be able to flash W with that mark over the top of Matix's head. I think Bowser showing another level in terms of the 1v1.
Like he's had to go towards Executioner's calling, just try and manage it. Here comes the Paranoia, the Knockwave combo. That is nice. The moment we speak well about it, though, Baus ends up blasted by that mid-jungle.
First.
will indeed be there with the additional grubs. Reckless also around, so that turret goes on down. They've already claimed feat of strength with the objectives and the kills going their way, so the strongest feat in existence. Lots of gym training.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, that's usually you almost always see it with First Blood Tower. You don't usually see it with all the objectives on one team and purely kills. That caught me off guard right there. I get the feeling that Bowsy's not going to respect and that he's just going to hit towers anyway.
What on earth would give that away? You know, there's no historical precedent for Baus playing aggressively or over
an Ori combo. Can we one-shot Nemesis in side lane here? That's the question.
Look for the knockwave combo. Oh, the Luden's proc is good, but there's a wild growth behind, trying to scatter the weak after having already unleashed the power. A lot of balls go scattering forwards. Forcible available, flag, drag. And I think Ozan is going to be picked up by Reckless. Now trying to run after D-Haste, who does get his bit of a speed up there with the command Dissonance. Over the wall goes Alaric with the battle dance, but Crownie now coming on forwards. Flag, drag, the quickness back. Kevo will turn into lightning crash to Bison Valley, but Crownie throwing out a large P to the delivery, looking a little bit aggressive. And I don't know where the early soul point from Lost Ratones.
It is like 2 games in a row of extremely early dragon stacking, but Rift Arrow placed mid. That could buy them time, but an EQ flash.
Oh, it's onto Kevo. The exhaust means nothing. They've blown up the Zeri. The gold leader has gone for Rich Gang. Now Ozan is dead as well. They tried to herald in mid lane and Lost Ratones go.
Where solo laners are winning, the jungle's doing extremely well, but look at this EQ where Kevo, he gets stunned up, it's chain CC'd, and there's maybe a frame where he could spam, flash, and get away, but it doesn't quite work out. And it looks like they completely agree. Bao's going to shift from top push to mid as Kevo burns his ulti.
Lightning Crash comes on down and on the hunt to trade back out and away. That's Velia though, a little bit split off from the squad. Does he get a shotgun, but there's a wild growth to keep him safe, and they just turn it around. The power's unleashed. And Crownie with a ricochet of pizza brings down Ozan, who's just feeling a little bit too full after all of that food.
Yeah, 0-5 now on the Nocturne. The dives really aren't working out too well. The laser's going to be eaten by the spell shield, and that's going to be mid-tower as Nemesis threatens the flank.
Oh, he gets the side of Alaric and Kevo mid-quickness. Oh. They will turn off the turret after. It's disaster into disaster. Kevo over the wall will throw an Ultra Shock laser. Another double scatter of the week.
God.
Nemesis hits the absolute max value on scatter those fights.
I mean, Nemesis and Velia have been demons, but then you throw in Crownie with the boomerangs, and now Baus is going to finish off Kevo with the Protobelt. It is brutal.
There is nothing left. It is brutalist.
I think that's appropriate. That is definitely appropriate as the gauge comes through.
I don't really know whether that's an engage or maybe a really quick journey over the cliff Lemming style. It is, in fact, a journey over the cliff Lemming style, as Crownie says, here, let me shove you over a little bit further. Baus now on a flank. Alaric's about to realize, oh no, there's a really angry bear
flash
here.
to haste.
Haste is trapped inside the cataclysm. Baus can't actually get involved, and so it doesn't get the assist, but the kill still goes down. Cataclysm keeps that robot woman trapped up for a little bit too long, and there will be no more dancing for the mid laner of Rich Gang.
I mean, Baus isn't done yet. He's trying to look for trades, that AP volley, the E, the skies, but it looks really, really painful there, although that might be the ultimate. But that's a tier 2. Matix is looking for a potential engage.
Flash, quickness, does get the backside. Crownie now in danger to get a bit of a shield there with the barrier. Now Velia coming on over. They polymorph Matix, the Ambessa, as the body rabbit gets nothing down, and Crownie gets a double.
Matix tries, and on the 1.5 item spike, that isn't going to be quite enough. He gets altered down, essentially 1v1'd by Crownie as an AD carry right there. I mean, this has to be an attempt onto the 2 carries of Lost Ratones overextending right here with the ball, but they must have maybe gotten rid of the ball and not quite found it. I'm sure because Orianna was around, they must have misplayed that and gotten the combo wrong in some sort of way. We couldn't quite see on the left-hand side what happened, but Haste has no flash. In this
long been collected by Nemesis, so he's got executes and fake AP death caps, courtesy of that pass, and now Ozan's going to throw it off the lights, and unfortunately the paranoia really was justified. They are out to get you. They'll teleport in and de-haste. Oh boy, that TP. Yeah, you guessed it, it sucked. The Cataclysm comes on now. Flag drag across onto Alaric. Kevo is split off from the team, and he is swiftly brought low as well. Velia gets that one on the killing spree. Flash out of the sky, split up with a rocket belt after. You can't run away from this volley bat. As Baus picks up another. Lost Ratones, it's 25 minutes on the clock, and the inhibitors are falling.
That's, yeah, it looks like it's going to be wrapped up in under 27 minutes, 26:30 thereabouts, if LR choose to end the game right now. Alaric's not going to be able to do anything. He's going to watch the Nexus explode. That is a... What are these 2 games, Sam? This has been so brutal.
Welcome to the clinic, folks. It is...
Bubba, what's your feeling? I see the face. I want to get the voice behind that face.
I'm invisible pain, man. I mean, I really don't care. He locks in the Zag. Okay, he goes for something completely unconventional, whatever. I'm just in complete awe that you
Han.
said. Hey.
We're not going to do that, and everyone shows. I think numbers are known here by Rich Gang,
well,
but ulti comes in. No flash
He's
to
not
haste.
got a flash. He can only fit one person. The knockup comes on through. It's a beautiful trap, and Lost Ratones pounce.
Where the haste, it feels like, has just been punished in this early game on these mobile control mages. But
this time,
Dragon for Rich
Gang early
Gangs.
dragon. Speaking of, oh, you just called it. It's now a 1v2 though. Spiraling Despair overcomes Valley, looking to get the ult on down. They will kill off the Cho'Gath, but the Heartbreaker allows a potential steal of the body, buying Tyler. Doesn't actually want to steal it too early here. Now has all of 9 abilities from Quay to potentially use. We'll use the Molten Fissure initially. I'm not sure whether you needed to put out that little tranquil path, the fleeting current. Can maybe come over the wall, Matix here. Maybe fight this one out. Umbral dash over, but the stun onto Ozan is tricky. Nemesis low. Needs to try to back away. Survives. Body stolen. Available. Matix is actually not
That's
got
a lot favored, and that's going to convert into a chomp onto the grubs for Baus and a stack for his feast, but also 3 grubs now and a neutral objective for LR. Now they can play the side lane extremely well with Ryze and his ults to side as well as overloading side lane. But look at this.
Yeah, Elastic Slingshot in. Remember, Nemesis does not have the flash. Has burned a lot of cooldowns as a result of that. Trying to find the realm warp out. He gets out. He's ignited and goes down. It's the smite. That there'd been a change to allow Sender to stack souls faster. No.
Yeah,
Just
that was
really
ridiculous.
insane soul stacking.
But not going to see quite that level of stacking as a team fight comes through. Valiant might be picked here. That's a good bounce back.
Oh boy, he does get over the wall. Will flash away from Smolder, comes summoning the mum.
Burn?
He just dies at Subjugate after the
Severing Strike, the Severing Bolt rather, and the ultimate from the Mom. Sorry, it's such a terrible name. From Smolder. Coming in over the top. It's just super, super hard for Velia to get in there and potentially try to set up the play. And Engage comes through now. Alaric again, this is going to be such a neutral lane, so I need to get excited for that.
too much. That's a decent double pulverize. Gets chunked back though with the stretching strikes. Alaric is ignited, but I don't think he cares. Remember, he's still got his passive to work with. Will flash on in to start. Let's bouncing.
Alaric?
Crowny is just going to go down. And now Reckless going to get Alaric caught into the turret. Nemesis
Baus
turned
is
up
dead
with
as
the realm
well.
warp. Baus is dead as well. You're right in the 1v1. Dehaste coming on up. Forces a flash out of Nemesis. There's going to be the passive down from Alaric, and they will get that kill eventually. But it ends up being a 2-for-1 in the grand scheme of things for Rich.
They could essentially do nothing here for the longest time and just scale to 225 for free.
Yeah.
Realm Warp to topside though on the side lane.
Trying to find the question more in a bit of a resist. Haste already flashed on that bot side play, will likely die, but the Spiraling Despair comes on forward. Velio though with a bit of a response until, of course, Ozan whacks him with a club. Nemesis, remember, no flash will go down as well. That makes it the 2-for-1. The Realm Warp play goes very wrong.
Just that the Haste likes to play, but Bonks come in for Ozan right here, and Matix with a TP to save the play right here. I mean, comboed that with the Mom from Kevo is just absolutely a mental amount, but like you said, the shielding, Matix trying to come in to steal. Rich Gang have decided we're not going to cross-map and try to scale, we're just going to fight right now. And Alaric is leading the charge.
Drop the Herald, they're going to try and play that one bot side. I think Nemesis should still get tier 1
Oh, look at
turrets
that
top,
pillar.
and that will actually end up being the first turret over to Lost Returns. That's feat to strength as well. The problem is the bot side of the turret is going to go down. The Haste has to flash away from Baus, who's looking for the Feast combo. It is an AP Cho'Gath, so that is still quite a lot of damage to work with. Crowny lands a deadly first. Alaric is around though, and Baus not going to have the easiest time feasting.
It feels like your win con's super, super thin right now. And just to outplay, Matix is going to win side against both champions.
Nemesis.
As Nemesis tries his best.
Valia's being forced to run away through the Harrow path. There's a stretching
the
strike on the
snipe.
Crowny from max range. Oh, Crowny, he's got no flash. He's got nowhere to go. We'll throw a bit of damage back on DT Haste. It doesn't matter. That's a kill going the way of Kevo.
And Matix, he's looking to escape after going topside. He's going to pop the World Ender and get an
He's so fast.
Infernal Cinder to be able to get away right there. That's a lot of move speed. They
Hang on.
can't find the engage.
Alaric gets over the wall with the Elastic Slow Shock, a flash out as well. They get the Realm Warp. Now Baus is potentially in dangerous. Dehaste throws out the Spiraling Despair. Remember, that's not a very tanky Cho'Gath. Infernal Chains will pull him back. Can't go for too much. Reckless finding the flash headbutt pulverize, maybe looking for his own play. Devastating fire, just go wide, but into the back and goes Alaric. They do feast down the way, but over comes Matix, who's looking to trade back as well. Reckless getting the double pulverize, but is traded out to 1-for-1 there. But Baus is so damn low, it's quickly a 2-for-1. And now Rich Gang.
It's so incredibly hard to play. I feel like Rich Gang, they're just on pace to completely destroy this game, provided there's no tremendous int here. Rich Gang.
That might be a little bit of an in. They just lost their mid lane.
Yeah.
A deal. Risky, but you are scaling well, and they don't want to fight the 4v5.
It makes sense. They don't want to play any kind of volatile fight, 4v5 like you're saying, and then risk losing the summoners before the soul fight, right? You really don't want to lose Smolder's
Wait, look
flash.
at these turrets.
and potentially give over a reset with a Smolder and so on. So
especially the diving targets who Velia is likely going to have access to. How are you going to get onto the Smolder all the way super regularly? Matix is going to be forced to ult here on the other side of the world, and coming on through, he's in a 1v3.
Sterak's Sunder,
Brownie,
can he live?
Deadly Flourish, but he's got Sterak's and Sunder Sky. I think he could do quite a lot of work. Nemesis in the end flashes out. They do get the kill, and now actually it's Velia in the Aatrox's body. Alaric forced down into the cell division. Dehaste is knocked up. Now he's in danger. Crowny with another Deadly Flourish. Also has to flash on out. And except you were saying without the potential big int, I think this is the big int. Oh, Rich Gang, not like this.
Oh,
Velia does go a little too deep.
With this build, but the Ignite's going to come through. The healing on the autos is going to be reduced. And a burst is right here from Velia, which I believe was an overextension. Ozhan, though, trying to make a pick onto Baus.
Yeah, going to try and get a fair amount of work there, but it's just not quite enough. It has to back away. It has to look at the damage numbers. Nemesis and Velia similarly putting out a lot of DPS there. My days, the overload starting to come on through. Got the Titanic Hydra now done for this. It's actually behind. That's an interesting run warp. 2v2 briefly. Good damage. Goodbye, Dehaste. And that's the reset number 1. Can start to spam through those Hwei abilities. The Grim Visage, the Crushing Maw, that Molten Fissure. A double for Velia, who has got those 2 items that begins to make them work for himself.
And it feels like Rich Gang are falling apart, and the only way that they can, with these overload plays and the ultimates, I don't think there's any other way that they can terrible champion. That it's super dependent on getting resets, and that can be extremely difficult. If there's a game to lose, I think it's this one for sure. But Alaric's getting picked.
Oh boy. Does end up flashing away. The damage forwards onto Kevo. He's getting hit by the gun goal!
No.
And Nemesis gets him with the overload. That's one way of managing it.
I think it's happening. That's going down extremely quickly. And it's gone. Is this going to be a comeback from Sol Point now for Los Ratones? And last game as well. Just a tremendous series from the player. Indeed. Kevo, at the very least, on LR, which they have just done, is an ideal situation for Rich Gang, and it looks like they're going to actually lose their bottom tier 2 as well with the threat as they collapse from mid into side lane. And it's a massive injection of gold before the next dragon, but it is 25 seconds until Sol. Will LR be able to spend this gold? It doesn't look like it.
Deadly Flourish into a Spectral Maw potentially. There comes the Subjugate trying to turn it around, but Reckless ready to punish as Ozhan and Alaric split off from the team. Mom is summoned, but I don't know if this PTA meeting is going the way Rich Gang would like it. Over the wall goes Nemesis, and the Trundle is dead again. There will be no smite available for this dragon.
And you can see the value of the Alistair into the Zac. Alaric is trying to engage, but all Reckless has to do is look at where the engage is coming from and cast Q on the Zac mid-leap to cancel it. It's incredibly hard to play. Functions as something like a Poppy right there, and Alaric just cannot find the engage, and then it's stuck in a choke versus the overload bounces and so on as well. I really did think Rich Gang was stomping a little bit harder than that as Snap engage. Can they one-shot Trundle here?
I think they can. A flash and fall from Reckless looking for the trample passive. Gets it. Getting some more autos down. Another pulverize, and goodbye Ozhan. Reckless might now be in danger, but he's still got
blocking from the Cho'Gath is just so large. I thought maybe, you know, Ozhan might be able to get away because a Q was blocked, but oh no, an engage, yeah.
Doesn't lead to too much more than the tier 2 right now. Rich Gang pull away, but so long for Rich Gang has fallen away. They are now down 8,000 plus gold. Alaric goes in and immediately loses 80% of his HP bar. The Rupture comes on in. The curtains are called, and the Zac is down into bloblets and flubber. Unfortunately, is not getting a sequel. Velia picks up that body. Can maybe look to dive with the stolen form of the support. Goes Elastic Slingshotting in. We'll try and ult away. He's got a bit deep, actually, and just gets shut down. Matix potentially also looking for a bit more.
Is there a long chase with Pillar here?
Yeah, there is potentially an angle. You just wonder, don't you? There we go. I had to find a Star Wars reference somewhere, mate, and that's the one I found.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Ozhan.
They
snap engage onto him. Oh, no.
Oh, they do. He's gone. Nemesis picks that one up. Mom is summoned again. Alaric goes a bit further forwards. Dehaste is absolutely eviscerated. Just about gets away with half his HP bar, but it will come at the cost of Alaric. So 2 people down. In a 3v5 with Baron alive, that is surely another big neutral objective going the way of Los Ratones.
At least Rich Gang have Smolder Hwei wave clear. I'm clutching at straws here, Sam. I'm really struggling to find
it's a short
positives
straw,
to
mate.
Rich Gang.
That's what they're drawing.
And they have 320 stacks on Smolder at this stage. Can they find a pick on the Baus? Usually the answer to that is no. As Dragon is spawning in 50 seconds and Baus is taking a reset. So everyone in Los Ratones is going to pick.
The mechanics, the decision-making from Los Ratones in these later stages have been fantastic. Now they're at Soul Point as well. It is a 6th straight game.
Trying to flank from the Zac. Reckless is going to act like a human ward right here as well as they get a bunch of uptime on this tower. Cannons aren't going to die to any kind of poke. And that's a tower that melts down extremely quickly. Rich Gang, it feels like they're just struggling to find anything to do.
Reckless goes in. Find the knock of Pneumatics, the deadly flourish after. That's a 4-item Jhin. He begins to hurt a lot more at this point as the passive begins to roll. Inhibitor chunked out low. 2 waves begin to look at those Nexus turrets instead, and the inexorable grind towards another NLC finals. Another EMEA Masters appearance. Another trip to a LAN. Their path has been paved in gold all year long. They'll add another flagstone to it, it feels like, unless Rich Gang can turn this tide around. They've got a 4-item Smolder. Maybe that's the way, but Reckless over the wall! Jumps on the backline and Kevo is the target. In comes Nemesis with the Realm Warp, and he finds another! They will not be denied! No early game failures! No mid-game fumbles will deny them a quadra kill to Nemesis! No Penta this time, but I don't think he'll damn well care, because it is another NLC Finals, and Baus will celebrate in the way he always does, with a fountain laser death. Welcome to Sweden! They're going to another Finals.
Dread from it.